Hi, welcome to Oregon. We're going to do a little wine tasting today. I'm Mike Normart, and this is Vino-Rater. Welcome to day 2 of our Willamette Valley wine tasting trip. In case you missed the first video, Willamette Valley is a region located in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. It stretches from Portland, Oregon in the north to Eugene, Oregon in the south. It's primarily known for its stunning landscapes, fertile farmland, and of course, its world-class wines. There are more than 700 wineries in the Willamette Valley. We visited Torrey Moor, Trisatum, and Utopia yesterday, and today we're going to visit Archery Summit, White Rose Estate, and the Stoller family estate. I'm also meeting up with an old friend today during our last visit of the day. We are now at the White Rose Estate. We actually happen to be members here, so we're going to do some tasting today. In the summer of 2000, Greg Sanders knocked on the door of an old farmhouse sitting at the top of Dundee Hills in Oregon's Willamette Valley. The house was just up the gravel road from a few of Oregon's most notable wineries. Surrounding the farmhouse was a small vineyard, self-rooted in 1980, that over the years had become known for the quality of its fruit. Many notable wineries had all purchased fruit from this site, bottling wines and designating them as White Rose Vineyard. Having been a passionate fan of Pinot Noir for many years, it was Greg's dream to own a vineyard from which he could produce artisan, handmade wines of outstanding quality. His search had led him to the top of this hill, and when he left, he took with him the deed to a dream.
And the native yeast is just what's on the grape itself. Since these were just open, you should give them 10-15 minutes, swirl them around a whole lot, and see what you think. They'll go for a while, so you have 2 of each in your collection. So you're tasting it now, maybe taste it again in a few months, and then wait some time, a year or 2. They're certainly not going to go bad in any length of time. 22 was an interesting year. We had our frost at the beginning, in mid-April.
What happens if I like them both?
Then smile.
Yeah.
Smile extra wide.
They're both great.
So that vineyard is actually down below. It's lower elevation, whereas our White Rose is higher. And they may have been affected a bit by the frost that happened in April, but what happened generally is that the secondary buds sprung back and produced plenty of fruit, so the vintage was saved.
The native is harder to be consistent, or is that?
Yeah, that's what I heard in general. But in talking to the winemaker, it wasn't much of an issue. It seemed to do quite well. There's another interesting thing about this yeast business. There's been a couple of studies done, including by Ken Wright, who you start off with a fermentation with a commercial yeast, but then an ambient yeast takes over and finishes it. And the ambient yeast could be a blend of things that are just around. So you start your fermentation with a yeast, but then other things kind of take over. The concern with native yeast is because it's inconsistent, it can stall out and end up either not finishing, which is really not good, or just taking an inordinate amount of time. But I brought that up, and he said, nope, it seemed to be just fine. So the proof is, as always, in the glass.
So we're at White Rose right now, and this is Neil. And Neil, thanks.
You bet.
That was great.
So enjoy that, and I have another interesting wine next that comes from vines that are interplanted over there.
Okay, can hardly wait.
Yeah, you really won't.